Welcome to Truejectory, the podcast committed to helping you align with who you really are, your true self. The one who is so comfortable with their uniqueness, so in love with life, and so effortlessly able to manifest everything they always dreamt of. I want this podcast to be a resource to help you jump into the driver's seat rather than continuing as a passenger in your own story. Let's understand why we choose to hold ourselves back so we can shed the lies that we've programmed into our minds. We can heal the root causes and step into the epic human that we know we can be. If you're ready to start aligning with your trajectory, let's do it. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. First things first, I want to be really clear, seeing as this is Truejectory and we love the truth here. This first episode is in fact scripted because there is a shitload of things that I want to say and I really don't want to forget anything. So I might seem a little bit more clinical or robotic at times. In future episodes, I'm going to have a couple of dot points and I'll just be vibing. But yeah, so that's the truth about this first episode. But let's get into it. So this podcast is for you. If you want to be your authentic self and you're starting to realize how hard that can actually be. If you no longer want to be affected by the judgment and opinions of others and of yourself. If you know that you have a unique calling, but you're struggling to work out what that is and how to attain it. This is for you if you want to stop holding yourself back. If you know that you need to heal, but you aren't sure where to start. You have the tendency to fall back into negative habits or addictions, and you want some tools to help get your life back on track. If you're someone who enjoys hearing the perspectives of others who have overcome challenging hurdles, this is your spot. You want a podcast you can tune into when you need a bit of a boost of motivation or to realign you with your goals when you find yourself stepping off your path a little or a lot. And finally, if you're aware that there is a rise in global consciousness going on and your intuitive senses are coming online, you want to know a little bit more but you're not sure where to look, this is definitely the place for you. We're going to be talking all things physical, metaphysical, spiritual, mental, mindsets, energy, everything, because it's all linked. We're all the same thing. So, who am I? Who am I? My name is Sarah Maxwell, and I have a big vision for us all. I want to see as many people as possible owning who they truly are. Because we're never more powerful than when we're being 100% authentic and true to our soul desires. And yet the majority of us have built walls around ourselves and we participate in the world with the personality that we've made up, which is basically a combination of programs, patterns, limiting beliefs, behaviors that don't serve us, and a whole lot of fear. Being ourselves sounds so easy, but it is the biggest and most important work that we will ever do. I'm sure you've all experienced moments of embodying the true you, right? Moments where everything was just peaceful and flowed effortlessly. For however long it lasted, you felt limitless. And then life kicked back in and you started telling yourself stories again about how you don't deserve the things that you crave and how you're not strong enough to do that thing that you're dreaming of. I'm here to remind you that everything that you can imagine you can achieve. Truly, anything is possible. Cheesy as that sounds. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. We're in a very important time at the moment in humanity where the consciousness of the planet is rising and information is so available in so many ways. We're starting to understand where we've really come from and that we're a limitless soul having a human experience in physical form. This changes everything. When you learn how to master energy, you become the master of your reality. The true creator that you really are. This podcast will show you what's possible and the actionable steps that you can take to start changing your reality to look the way that you want it to. We'll speak with people who have aligned with their soul purpose and true self and see how they operate and see how they got there. We're going to dive deep into the human condition and look at why we seem to love standing in our own way and doubting ourselves. And we'll discuss ways that we can stop these patterns that don't serve us. Once you align with your true self, you become a master at manifesting and you begin to see all the things that you desire enter your life with ease. You begin to align with your true path. your trajectory. Imagine a world where everyone was doing what they really love for a living. Like, just imagine that for a second. A world where no one felt like they were slaves to their 9-to-5s because what they do every day brings them so much joy. That's the world that I want to start working towards. First, we step into who we truly are, and then we step into our true path. Change doesn't happen overnight, though. It happens in tiny, consistent increments that compound over time. And God, it took me such a long time to accept that truth. That's why I want to do this podcast, so we can work together, bit by bit, choice by choice, to come back to who we are at our core. Let's start shedding the lies that we've told ourselves and healing the root cause of our distortions that keep us locked into a fear-based mentality a lot of the time. Then all that will be left to do is step fully into who we truly are and watch the magic unfold. Here's an overview of some of the conversations that we're going to have. How to embody your authentic self at all times, regardless of who you're around. How to deal with negative thought patterns and habits that don't serve you. The truth about a spiritual awakening and what shifting from 3D to 5D really looks like. Why fear is the quickest path to find your trajectory. 5 reasons why being single can be the most transformative time in your life. 3 ways to flip self-sabotage into self-care. And how to turn your flaws into superpowers. So, a little bit about me. I'm a creative director of a production house. I've been behind the lens of many cameras for over 14 years now, which is a fantastic place to learn about humans and how we operate. People often feel very exposed and vulnerable when they're in front of a camera. They know the lens never lies and that people can read your energy. If you're being inauthentic, it's felt. So I've witnessed a lot of people struggle with the realization that they aren't fully aligned with their integrity and who they believe themselves to be. Sometimes they're not even aligned with the message that they're trying to say. I've also helped a lot of people get to a place where they feel comfortable enough to speak from the heart. Since my awakening in 2018, when I realized I could heal my own body with my intention and life force energy, I've been working energetically with people doing remote healings and activations, having my mind blown at what's possible pretty much every step of the way. And I can't wait to get into some of these stories with you. I'm learning more every single day, and here are a few of my greatest life lessons so far. I refer to them as my biggest teachers. I've been through a heavy cancer scare that changed me forever. I think that was the first time in my life I actually paused and took a breath, took a really deep breath. I began having full body seizures in 2020 and was immediately placed on detrimental pharmaceutical meds without any choice while I was unconscious in the hospital. These meds had a bigger impact on me than the seizures themselves, and it took 3 years to get off them. The doctors have diagnosed me with epilepsy, although I have my own differing opinions on this, and we'll discuss that in time. I walked away from a 10-year relationship when I discovered I wasn't able to be my true self, and started to realize the damage that had on how I viewed myself and how my mental and physical health had declined. I've battled with addiction of many forms since I was young, and I still work through these urges every day. I had a spontaneous spiritual awakening in 2018, and the way we work and the structure of our universe has made a lot more sense to me since then. I've studied various healing and teaching modalities, and now I'm letting all the lessons I've learned blend into this podcast in hopes that it may assist other seekers. I am honest. I am flawed as hell. I am polarized in almost every area of my life. I'm highly sensitive. I'm empathic. If you cry, I'm going to cry right along with you. I'm very self-aware. And my main desire is to see people being kind to each other and following their hearts and dreams rather than playing it safe because fear told them to. Information and awareness is the key to healing. So let's learn more together, hear from other people, and gain some new perspectives so that we can all start to connect the dots in our own lives and get a crystal clear focus on what it is we really want to move towards. I'll be chatting to heaps of people with very different careers and backgrounds, ranging from world-class artists, psychologists, students, psychics, and energy workers, stay-at-home parents, business owners, musicians, entrepreneurs, and whoever else I stumble upon as we go. Anyone who may have some insight for us all. Among other questions, I really want to know how people create and maintain confidence in this age of constant judgment and uncertainty. I want to know how people remain consistent and move closer every day to their goals. And I also want to know how they become crystal clear on what it is they want in the first place. I've struggled with all three of these in the past: confidence, consistency, and clarity. Though I'm a lot more aligned now, I'll always be a work in progress, and I can always benefit from learning more from others, as can we all. My hope is that we can all find the courage to be more raw, open, and true with ourselves and those around us, to be unapologetically exactly who we are. By doing this, we show others what's possible, and in a sense, give them permission to do the same. So here's to stepping into our trajectory. If you have any topics that you want me to cover, get in touch via Instagram at Truejectory, one word, and we can chat. Thank you so much for tuning in today, fam. Stay you, stay true. Mwah.